Alright, and we seem to be live. Alright, welcome to my Secret Santa 2021 puzzle that I created for cracking the Cryptic, the Discord server. I'm going to provide a brief walkthrough of this puzzle. It's a fairly approachable puzzle. It's not too complex. If you want to try out the puzzle before I get to it, the link will be in the description down below. Let's just go through the rules real quick. I'm gonna pause the timer, and then when I get started, I will restart it so you can see my time. I'll go through it a little bit slowly to explain the logic, but I'm gonna time trial it a little bit also. The way this works is each normal sudoku rules apply, and each one of these gray lines are thermometers. And the way they work is the digits along a thermometer have to strictly increase from the bulb to the end. So, for example, if I put a 2 there, that would have to be bigger than a 2. It doesn't necessarily have to be consecutive. So I could put a 5 there if I wanted to. And then a 6 there, and an 8 there, and a 9 there. Or, I can't, but you can imagine if that line weren't there, that would be a valid solution to that thermometer. Um, the green lines in this case are cosmetic. Um, the person for whom I created this puzzle wanted something along a triathlon, so I tried to create waves along here, and then a bicycle there. It's not so easily recognizable, but that's what I got. And yeah, so just ignore the green lines when you're solving. I think that's all I have to say. Again, the link for this puzzle will be in the description box down below. And I'm gonna start now. Let's get cracking. Reset. Alright, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pencil mark the thermometers. Because especially these long ones, oops, these long ones can give very limited options, and so it's a good place to start. Now this one's a little bit shorter, so there are more options, but still a ways to go. 5, 6, 7, 8, and 6, 7, 8, 9. This one also 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the way that branch works is it's basically the same as 2 thermometers, one in each direction. Now here it's even longer, so that looks like that. Right, so now here you can immediately see that's not a 9, so I can eliminate options all along there. The next thing that you can see on the real first bit of real logic is that this cannot be a 2 or a 3. The reason for that, if that's a 2, right, then that would have to be a 1 in order to satisfy the thermometer logic. But now this cell has no value. Similarly, if I make that a 3, well, what's that going to be? If it's a 1, then both of those cells have to be 2. And if that's a 3 and a 2, then that cell has no value. Right, so I can't have a 3 or a 2 in that location. So I can get rid of some options down the thermometer as a result of that. Now in the bottom row, you can see I have a 7, 8 here. That gives me a 9 right there, and a 6 right there. And now I can fill in the rest of this thermometer. Right, and now this 7 here at the top obviously looks down and sees that cell. So that can't be a 7, that's a 6, 5, and 4. Now this cell sees a 1, 2, and 4, so that has to be a 3. Now we can return to the top of the grid here. This, obviously it's not a 7 and a 6 because it sees both of those by sudoku. Which means that can't be bigger than 5. So I can get rid of some options there. Oop. 3, 4. Right. But now that one also can't be a 1 because it sees a 1 in the column. So that's a 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's not a 5, that one's not a 5. Those outer ones are not 6s. Right, and now we have to do a little bit of sudoku logic. Fairly simple sudoku logic. And we have a 2 there and a 2 there. So that one's a 2. Similarly, we have a we have a 6 there and a 6 there. That puts a 6 into one of those. But we know that we have a 6 in one of those already. In fact, we know which one it is because that can't be a 6 or a 7. I'm sorry, I missed that. So that's an 8 and that's a 9. Therefore, that's a 6 and that's a 7. Because those are the only options left. Okay, so now we know that that one has to be a 6. Now we know that that's a 6. I'm gonna make a series of deductions here, and I may not spell them out every time, but where I don't spell it out, it means that there are digit, their equivalent digits in rows and columns that point to that deduction. If you don't see what I'm pointing at, then pause the video and look and take a look. But now look what we have is where does 4 go in this middle box? Doesn't go in any of those. So 4 goes in one of those, and as a result, 4 has to go right there. And now I can put a 4 right there. Next step. Right, we have a 3 over here. So where does 3 go? 3 has to go there. Right, so now in this box where we have left to place, we have to place 5, 8, and 9. That can't be an 8 or a 9, so that's a 5. And I have an 8 line pair that I will be able to resolve in just a second, but I'll spell that out a little bit more. In this row, we have to place 2, and 3. Well, 2, 3, and 1. 1, 2, and 3. That can't be a 2 or a 3, though. Right? It's using 2 in the column and 3 in the box. So that's a 1. And that's a 2. And now that's a 3. And now, in box 6, where does 8 go? Has to go in one of those. That means that cannot be an 8. That's a 9. And that's an 8. Shifting gears for a second, we have a 3 there and a 3 there. So that's a 3. Forces a 3 into there. Right, now we have a 5, 7, and 9 left in place in this row. So that has to be a 7 and that has to be a 9. So that leaves that as a 5. We can place a 1 right there. We can place a 1 right there. We can also place a 7 right there, and then 9, and then 8. We can place a 6 right there. We can place a 5 there. We have 1 and 7 left to place in this column, so that goes in that order. Right, now we have an 8 there, which means that it has to go in one of those for box 2, which means that that cannot be an 8. That has to be a 7, which makes that an 8. And that has to be an 8. I need a 2 and a 4 left for the box. That has to go in that order. Now I can put a 4 there. Now I need a 1 and a 2 in that order. Now where does 2 go in box 2? It has to go there. That's a 1. And I have an 8, 9 pair. This cell here is a 5. And this cell is a 4. Here we have, then we have a 6, 7 pair. Left to disambiguate later. Here we have 5, 7, and 8. We can't quite do that yet. But I'm just gonna mark that. That's not an 8, and that's not a 5. This cell here is a unique single. Parentheses 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Which means that has to be a 5. That means that's a 7, and a 6, 7, and an 8, and a 5. Now where does 1 go in box 3? It has to go right there. 2 has to go right there. 4 has to go right there. Now in the top row, that has to be an 8 and a 9. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's a 9. Have 3 and an 8 left to place. I'll pencil mark that temporarily. Here I have a 6 and a 9. That's a 9, that's a 6. That's a 9, that's an 8. And that's a 3, and that's an 8. And just to finish off that last pair, that's a 3, that's a 7. And we finished just shy of 13 minutes. Hope you enjoyed that puzzle. I enjoyed making it, I've enjoyed solving it, and I've enjoyed the feedback that I've gotten from my testers. So, if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section down below. If you did not already and you'd like to, feel free to try out the puzzle in the link in the description down below. It's a great puzzle. Would recommend. And I think that's all I have for now. Have a great day.